Okay, so hi guys.
Hi.
Could you introduce yourselves? Just tell me your name, where you were born, or where your families were born.
You first.
Hi, my name is Abdul. I was born in a city called Larache in northern Morocco, and I am a cultural worker and producer. I'm also involved in circus. I teach circus, and
Very cool.
I graduated in English literature, and I do a lot of things.
Yeah, and I was born in the same city in Morocco, Larache, but I came here in Spain as a baby with 3 months old. So yeah, I grew up basically in Spain in a small village called Benicarlo. That is 3 hours south from Barcelona, and I've been living in Barcelona now for 6 years. And, yeah, I do work in the sustainability field, but I'm very involved and interested in cultural and social activities as well.
Do you still have lots of family in the Larache?
Yeah, all of it except for my mom and one aunt. I have all the rest there. Yeah, so all my Moroccan heritage is still there. I go there to visit my heritage. Yeah.
So, Abdul, can I say Abdul?
Yes.
Can I ask where the house of your family was in Larache, or is?
Yes, it's a neighborhood there is called the Eye of the Arabs, Ain al-Arab. It was a fountain there, and my grandfather owned almost half of the district. And then he sold some part, and now we have a house there in the middle. The name changed now, there is a recent one. But right in front of our house there is a Jewish cemetery.
Oh, really?
The biggest in the city.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Have you been inside it?
Every day.
Because
Yes, you go there.
Every day, that's quite a lot.
Because to go to my father's shop, I need to cross through it. Yeah.
What's the shop? The father's shop?
My father is a fisherman, and he now works as a sewer. He makes fish nets.
Oh.
And he's living in a neighborhood where the house where the shop that he has now was owned by Raphael, a Jewess.
Oh,
before.
really?
And it was like an office of Raphael to stamp passports for people to go and live in UK.
Oh,
And
wow.
work in UK.
Oh, a weird connection there.
everywhere. So,
Did your father know Raphael, or was that like...
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and he had many Jewish friends, and in his early days he was sharing celebrations and many things with Jewish families.
Really?
Yeah. Not just him, I mean the most of people who are in Larache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you talk about the name of your area? Do you know why it's called the Eye of the Arab?
The name exactly why I don't know, because there was a Jewish cemetery, and I don't know why it's called Ain al-Arab. But what is interesting about Larache is that you don't find Mellah. We don't have Mellah. You know, Mellah is the Jewish community district, because they were never living separated. They were living among the Muslims and among the Christians.
Wow.
And I have been inside different houses where each floor was for a certain religion.
Really?
I've seen a synagogue, I've seen a minaret, and I've seen a cross in one house.
In one
different
house?
flats, yes.
Oh,
In the old city. Yeah. And that was actually a workshop. We rented the house, and I was working there with my friends. And I think we stayed there for 7 years.
Wow.
Working in that house, yes. We did so many music films and music rehearsals. And where my father has now a workshop, in front of him there is a church, San Antonio Church. And that neighborhood was very common. It's called the Royal Street, Calle Real. And in this street there were a lot of Muslims living among with Christians and Jews, and they were living together, trading together, and exchanging everything together.
Wow.
So my father used to go out and go to a Jewish woman that was sitting at the front door of her house, sewing clothes. And she was like, let me see your size. And she was measuring his size and making it and bringing it into situation to the house for my father when he was a kid. Because my father also was brought up in a neighborhood called Gibibat. And that was the place where there was a huge coexistence between the three religions. And in Gibibat we have a small zawiya, we call it. There is both for Muslims and Jews. So the man buried inside this zawiya is a respected man from both Muslims and Jews. Yes, and they go there to ask for blessing.
Like they go on a pilgrimage, like a saint, kind of like a saint.
Exactly, like a saint for Christians and Muslims.
Oh, really?
No, for Jews and Muslims.
Have you seen this? Oh, really?
It's called Sidi Abdul.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you been on the pilgrimage?
Yeah. It's right in the corner of this neighborhood called Bibat. That's why I'm telling you, you have to come to Larache.
Yeah.
And now the neighborhood where my father works has a shop. Like 100 meters on the right, there is a big house that was an old synagogue.
Really?
Yes, and I made a music video inside that place.
Oh, wow.
And there was a part in the music video where there was a Jewish singing. It was a Jewish song that we used to repeat in Larache.
Yeah.
And I filmed the whole song in this neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
Later I can show it to you.
So are your parents still friends with Jews? Do they still?
We don't have them anymore in the
Yeah.
city actually, because they all went to Israel.
Yeah.
In the early days. But I think most of them missed Morocco. I've seen many documentaries about them, and they all miss the tradition, the Morocco, food, celebrations, neighbors, and many other things.
Yeah. Do people talk about the Jewish history within Larache? Is that something people mention, or is there a knowledge about this history within the younger generations? Or do you think a lot of it's been forgotten?
Not that much, because in Morocco we don't have. We have a lot of issues to talk about, but very few people do mention cultural things and history, especially the best part of it. So when they talk of history, most of them they mention stereotypes and prejudice. But what I personally work with is promoting what existed in my city. And what existed was pure respect and tolerance among religions.
Yeah.
So now we organize this festival for the 8th edition.
Oh, really?
And every year we promote cultural diversity and religious tolerance by making conferences between Jews and Muslims and Christians, and they all talk together.
Really?
And during this festival we also have a big community of Moroccan, Spanish, Jews and Christians who are living now in Spain. They come just to attend the festival with us. And they are called Chicas de Larache. No, Hijos de Larache.
Did the families originally come from Larache and then they come back?
Yeah. Because when they left Morocco as Christians or Jews, they came to Spain or they went to other countries.
Yeah.
So now when we organize the festival, we invite them and they come, and they are more than 200 people. They come every year.
Yeah. What are some examples of events that you've had?
We do conferences about cultural diversity, seminars, mostly performances, where we bring a lot of different folkloric groups and they perform in front of Muslim people, families and children. And we know that these people are different and they come from different religion. They have Jewish, Christian cross, they have so many different things, but they are accepted and people like their shows and they like watching that. So by bringing these elements to the local community of today, it also tells them that this is something of what we had before. So we have to grab it and hold it.
For me the experience was a little bit different to his, because when I visited Morocco, I visited as an immigrant. I was very aware of that since I was young, because I did have a language barrier with my own family for some years. Except with my grandfather. He spoke Spanish, broken Spanish, but still. And of course, I had to know the reason why, and it was because he was in his young years, he was very, very exposed to Christians in the city and to Jewish in the city. And he spoke with the Spaniards in Spanish. It was also more usual to use the Spanish back then. And I remember my family telling me about how he would sit in the city center or the old town with them, how there was many Jewish that had businesses, and locals would go there. Like one Jewish made churros, which you know what it is, and that was the place for that.
Really?
You know, everyone knew that he would make that, and that it would be a tradition of the city to go to that place. And so for me, the knowledge is still there, but I think inside the families, as stories of your grandparents or your parents, but not as something we can now live. Like for example, now every time I visited Morocco, I could not go out in the streets and say, oh, I'm going to a Jewish center, or I wasn't that aware. I guess in the cultural activities during the year, it is more, reminded of, but still, I think in the stories inside the families, because of mine, I don't think it is lost. But it's not as pronounced as it should be. It's one more story.
And did your grandparents have stories as well?
Yeah, but they died when I was very little, so I think I have forgotten most of them. But my uncles keep them, so I heard them most from my uncles and aunts.
And can I ask if you know when your families came to Morocco, if they were always there, or if, for example, they might have come from Al-Andalus?
Originally, I came from Al-Andalus, but even my family in Andalusia came from Saudi Arabia. That's what the nickname is originated from, As-Sarhani. There is a tribe in Saudi Arabia that is called Al-Sarhan. But in Morocco we have a very, very mixed society. We have the natives, the Amazighian, free men. There are people who call them Berbers, it's not the right term. But they are Amazighians. We have Sub-Saharan people, we have Middle Easterns, Moorish people, and people crossing by, especially Jews, Christians, and other people through the sailing trade, and there are people who stayed in Morocco. And there was a colonization period. Larache was a Spanish city for a longer period, but within that system of Spanish system, we had a Jewish system ruling the city, and there was a community of Jews. There was a lot of Jewish schools, and actually I've been to a Jewish school. There is now a house. It's like a villa house of a friend of mine, and he showed me many pictures and writings of the students. And I have friends now that still live, still alive, who studied with Jews.
Oh,
and
really?
they are Muslims, yes. They studied and they had Jewish teachers, and they studied many, many different things with Jewish students, which was so nice. And we have also a square that is called Tolerance Square, and it has 3 cemeteries. Christian on the right, Jewish in the middle, and a Muslim on the left. And we go there and we perform also, just to promote for this.
And this kind of places for me have always been presented as very natural. It's not something that we have to plan and have. When I visited the cemeteries, it's like, this is how we live. We have this, we've had this for a long time. But now they made like they made it like
statue,
a whole ritual to like remind the city that we have it. But it was there for a long time. It was supernatural. And when locals speak about Jewish, Moroccan Jewish, they always speak out of emotions and feelings and memories. That's what I feel. They don't make they don't focus on the religion. It's there, they
Yeah.
know it, everyone knows it, but they feel that they are their brothers and they have, or sisters, they have shared a lot together.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to hear
Yeah.
people talk about that, especially in this world that has so many barriers and fights.
Yeah.
To see that in one village, it's not affecting them.
Yeah.
It's true, because I personally have now a lot of Jewish friends, and they are most of them are Moroccan, Spanish Jewish, and I get to meet them every year in the festival, or when I'm here in Spain, I go and I see them. I feel there is absolutely no difference between me and them, because we are human beings. It doesn't matter what is the religious background we have. But we all sense that we belong to Larache, and Larache is our home.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us meet again and do things together and connect, and it's the best feeling that you have.
Yeah.
And for us, in the city of Larache, you cannot find someone who's stereotyping Jews or talking bad about them. Apart from political perspective of it, culturally speaking, we really love the integration between the three religions, not just Islam and Jew, but also the three religions. And I don't think if you now go to the old town of Larache and you say, I'm a Jew, people will hurt you.
No.
They will absolutely open the door and invite you for a meal.
What's it like for Jews who came from Larache when they return? What kind of things do they do? Do they go and see the houses where their families were from?
Yeah.
Do they speak Darija?
Yeah. They speak very good Darija, actually.
Yeah.
It has a different taste, different accent, because it's Sephardi.
Yeah.
You know? And most of them, they go and see their houses, or they go and see their neighbors. I have a Jewish friend, he's from Cordoba, he's a guitarist, and whenever he comes, he goes to visit his neighbor. She's now married and she has children, and he also stays with her in her house.
Yeah.
And I also have another friend who is the owner of the Toho shop, but that's his son, because the father already died. He always go to visit the neighbor of his father, who has a small shop also selling equipment for electronics. And he goes for meetings with his family, with his newborn children, and it's always like this.
Yeah.
Because the ties are still on between the families. And not just that, actually, even in our food, and our costume, and our clothes, and our rituals and songs, we have a lot of Jewish heritage.
Yeah, there's similarities between Moroccan and Sephardi.
Yes.
Food, right? And weddings. Have you ever